Hi, so this series is going to be on using the UI. So what do we actually need our UI to do? Well, in most situations, not a lot. It's in raiding, or organised PvP for that matter, but that's not really my sphere of interest, it's raiding. You need a convenient source of information, important information, of course. It's not just a resource for readings and boss timers, but actually being able to see your environment as well for important changes. For example, can you see the ads that have just entered in from the side? Can you see the fire that's just spawned underneath you? Can you enjoy the encounter for what it is? You know, are you actually getting to smell the roses along the way? Or are you just focused on the big screen, the numbers coming up from the middle of your screen, or the numbers, the boss timer numbers? Are you just entirely focused on that during a fight? So your UI is more than just practical as well. It's also an extension of yourself. Although the game itself doesn't give very many customization options, Blizzard have been very, very good at supporting modifications as long as they're not automating any processes within the game. They recognize that, you know, different people want different things from their UI. Different people want their UI to look differently, so they allow people outside of Blizzard to come up with different systems and implement those. And of course, how your UI looks can be a game breaker in terms of whether you enjoy the game or not. Now, the one important thing to note is there is no good UI, and although it can be tempting to say that certain features make for a bad UI, I will be willing to bet my last penny that as soon as you say that, some top player will probably have a UI with just such a feature, and it doesn't stop them playing brilliantly regardless. So the best UI is effectively the one that best suits you. This means you need to make up a couple of lists. In the first list, you want to detail all the things about your current setup. So let's say you use the standard Blizzard UI, as I did for many years, or you might use a different one, but maybe it's not quite meeting your needs. So make a list of all the things that causes you problems with that UI. So for example, a classic thing in the standard UI, scrolling combat text. Let's say you want the scrolling combat text, but it just comes in the middle. It's like the worst place to have it because you can't really see what's going on. All you see is the numbers. Even worse if you're a healer, isn't it, sometimes? You know, so anything that causes you problems, or you just wish you could change just for cosmetic reasons. Then you make a second list. In a second list is you detail all the things you would like to see in your UI that might not be there. It might not be there at all in the standard Blizzard UI. You might not even know if it's possible or if it exists in a mod or an add-on. All right, but just go nuts. The sky be the limit. Just make a wish list of all the things you would like to see. Now, once you've made your list, what you need to do is look at add-ons that allow you to carry out that design. It might be more than one. Now, if you need help, there are forums dedicated to customizing UIs, and you might find that the authors of suitable add-ons post there as well. You can see these on MMO Champion, the official forums as well. There are dedicated forums specifically for this. So just go on there, say, I would like my UI to do this. What would you suggest? And then you could try those out. Now, the add-ons I mostly use for customizing my UI are Elv UI and MSBT, Mixed Scrolling Battle Text. There are other add-ons that I use as well to enhance my UI, but I'll go over those later in the series. These are the two I actually use to change what the Warcraft standard interface already has. Now, one of the problems with the standard interface is that you sometimes get aspects of the boss encounter obscured. So it could be, as I've said before, the scrolling battle text, which prevents you seeing what your character is standing on, for example. You could, of course, just turn them off. But as I say, if you like to see the scrolling battle text, if you like it to be there, then you shouldn't be forced into that decision. There is another option. MSBT, if you go on to Curse add-ons, MSBT, or Mixed Scrolling Battle Text, it organises your combat text into 4 main categories. Then it allows you to enable or disable them as you see fit. It allows you to position them wherever you wish on the screen. Now, I've only got the damage done and healing done showing, and I've shoved them out to the sides of my screen so they don't really get in the way of the main action. This way I'm not distracted by them while raiding, but they're there. I mean, I don't really use them for raiding. They're there for the non-raid stuff where I might be a bit more interested. For raiding, you don't need them at all, really. Because logs, if you want to find important information, you'd look up on logs later. Now, raid frames can also take up a bit of real estate. And also, the standard UI tends to have them shoved out to the side, which I don't think is particularly helpful. Even though I don't play a healer anymore, I do still interact with my raid frames. For example, as Retribution Paladin, Hand of Sacrifice, or Hand of Protection, or Cleanse, or Lay on Hands. And other classes may need to as well. You've got like Misdirection for Hunters, Vigilance for Warriors, etc. Now, for this, I use Elf UI. It not only lets me decide how much space the raid frames are, I can sort of shrink them down or expand them or whatever, but also where they are. I put them right at the bottom in the middle. Other people put them in different places, wherever is most convenient for you. Now, as a general rule, I would say that you aren't really missing anything by obscuring the bottom strip of screen. So that bottom sort of section down there, you're not missing a great deal. So with most things that you don't have to keep a constant eye on, I would tend to shove them down there. Now, of course, you don't want to be focusing on the bottom of the screen. So anything that requires sort of more regular attention, you don't want to be putting down there. In general, again, some people may. But if there's things that require constant monitoring, such as, say, your weak auras or whatever important notifications you use, your health, the target's health, anything like that, boss timers, probably want to be around the middle of the screen where your focus is mostly, but not actually clumped in the middle. It sort of wants to be, think about where your main field of view is and put it around there. So it's just in sight, but not actually obscuring anything important. And as I said back to the beginning, what you need to do is decide what works best for you and your preferred mode of playing World of Warcraft. Think about the space. Have you got space where you need it to be able to see what's going on, see the environment, enjoy the environment? But also, when it comes to important notifications, if you need them, are they in nice clear sight as well? So again, you're not focusing on a part of the screen that means you're going to miss something important happening to your character, say fire spawning under it. So that's it for the first part. And the next part, I'm going to be looking at customizing boss mods.